Welcome to Intuitive Astrology with Molly McCord. Thank you so much for joining me today as we take a look at the astrological energies from June 28th until July 5th, as we have a lot of astrology unfolding over this next week. Some of the highlights include Neptune stationing retrograde at 27 degrees of Pisces. We have the Capricorn Full Moon at 11 degrees of Capricorn on July 3rd. And we have a lot going on with the personal planets, notably Venus in Leo and Mercury in Cancer. This is a time of movement and flow. Now, the sun is moving through Cancer, the fourth sign of the zodiac and the first water sign. And this is a time to tune into what is ready to move through you, where you are allowing things to have their own momentum, their own flow. They are moving with more grace and effortlessness instead of perhaps being stuck or clogged in something that is complete or over. And one of the ways we can make the most of Cancer season is to look at how much we're trusting the flow of life. How are you trusting that life is designed to move through you? Energies are designed to move through you, because that Cancer energy signature can have a connection to the past, to former circumstances, previous conversations, parts of your experience that you're still moving through. And this is a time to allow it to flow through you, where even if you're processing, even if there's things you're still feeling and sensing, make sure that they are flowing through you instead of feeling like you're stuck in a previous timeline, a previous version of yourself, or spinning in something that could be energetically completed at this time. So the Cancer energy is where we can trust the movement of life, the movement of energy, as well as get some insights on where that might get stuck in you. Cancer season is also time to check in with your emotional process, meaning how do you handle or work through feelings as they arise? How do you look at what is occurring within you and trust your own journey through it? If there's anything that has been lingering for too long, which can happen with Cancer energy, we hold on, we think that we can easily revisit a particular experience, conversation, or event. We can be stuck. The energy can be in an unconsciously locked environment of what was. And that's because the Cancer energy is also connected to where we come from. Where we come from in terms of our lineage, our ancestors and genealogy, but where we come from in regards to circumstances that have shaped us, that have formed us, that have created who we are today, that have taught us something. But because that Cancer energy can be very subconscious, it's the things deeper within us that have shaped and formed us. And there is an opportunity here to move the energy forward in some capacity. Now, on June 28th, the Sun in Cancer is going to trine Saturn retrograde in Pisces at 7 degrees before making a conjunction to Mercury in Cancer at 8 and 9 degrees. And so what is happening this week with the sun's journey through Cancer is that it's showing us what we need to let go of, what we're ready to perhaps look at or release, what we're ready to allow to shapeshift into a different understanding, a different version, a different narrative. And so this could be a time when your emotional body is very alive. You could feel like you're processing many things, either emotionally or deep within you, that could be hard to describe. This is where the energetics want you to allow something to move through and to not attach to it. Now, that Cancer energy can attach. It attaches out of safety or perceived safety and security. It attaches out of a desire to have a home base or to belong. The Sun in Cancer also relates to our first experience of tribe, your first tribal imprints, which would be typically the nuclear family, and how that shaped you, how that formed you, what it meant to be a member or part of a family, a tribe, a small collective of energies. And did that feel safe? What did that do to shape you and form you, especially as you matured through life, and especially as you were able to understand more of who you truly are? So with the Sun working with both Cancer and Mercury this week, I'm feeling like there could be some things that you want to move forward. I'm hearing that there can be energies that feel like they're growing, like they're maturing, they're moving into a new phase. You could have a sense of, yeah, I'm really complete with something, or I'm allowing this to fade away, to gracefully leave my energy or my experiences. And this is because the healthier expression of Cancer allows the full spectrum of emotions to be felt. Where when you have a bad day, you're in a bad mood, you're going through a tough spot, you don't over-identify with it. You don't attach to it. You just notice, yeah, this is not fun. I'm not enjoying this. This is a little bit of a rough road right now, but it's going to shift and change. Same with when we're feeling great on top of the world. There's a lot that just feels supportive and beneficial. We know that that energy is also moving through us. And so the Cancer energy is deeply connected to the cosmic energetics that we feel at a personal level. It's your personal experience of energies, of feelings, of what you're sensing around you, sensing in an environment. So going back to how that Cancer energy is connected to our first experiences of family, of home, safety, emotional security. This can be a time when things come up that you realize you're ready to work through or look at from a more mature perspective, that you have more of the tools to do so. And this would be a week to self-evaluate. What are my tools for trusting life, for trusting the flow of energies as they move through me, knowing that there is always the waxing and the waning phases for life experiences, for moving through energies on this planet, knowing that the ebb and flow of life is natural and normal. And how do you navigate that? How do you trust that? So we have the potential to trust ourselves even more in Cancer season, and to trust what we're feeling as a message, as an insight, perhaps as a beautiful deliverance of wisdom, but without overly attaching to it out of safety, without overly identifying with it, and instead continuing to trust how life is designed to flow through us. And with Sun trining Saturn, there are things that can be stabilized. There can be a strengthening of the energetics. There can be a new sense of power and authority over your emotional process or over whatever you're moving through. Now, with the Sun conjunct Mercury, which occurs June 29th and June 30th, this is where we could have more insights into our emotional self, our needs, the parts of ourself even that we have suppressed or held back. Because with the Sun conjunct Mercury in Cancer, that Sun energy is going to highlight and amplify whatever Mercury in Cancer has been holding on to, perhaps suppressing or pushing away, because the instinct with the Cancer energy is to at first close down. That's part of a defense mechanism with Cancer, to shut down the clamshell, to close things out, to retract, to go back into your little cave to find safety and comfort. But when the Sun is conjunct Mercury, the Sun shines a light of consciousness on what you need to see. So this would be a really good time to be honest with yourself around, again, your emotional process, what you're feeling within, what you're ready to change or do in a different manner, how you're also willing to open up to what is working for you and what is not. Meaning there could be things that you're understanding right now that are beautifully supportive, that are comforting, that give you a sense of, yes, this feels good to my soul. This feels good to my needs. And then there could be things that you're realizing, well, I need to improve this. Well, it's time to look at this and do it a little bit differently. And I feel like that energy is going to be growing and increasing up to the Capricorn Full Moon on July 3rd. So I will get to that in just a moment, but there's a lot going on this week with the transiting energies. And as we close out the final few days of June, there is a lot here with the Sun in Cancer wanting you to beautifully accept yourself, to look at where you're ready to grow next, and also to be aware that it's okay if you're understanding some things have outserved their purpose, like they're outdated. And maybe that's another way to look at Cancer season. What is outdated? What no longer supports your energy system based on where you are now? And that's where you could have some new insights into what you're ready to develop, mature, and grow. Now, on June 29th, we have Venus in Leo, trining Chiron in Aries at 19 degrees. This happens for the first time here on June 29th. It's going to happen 2 more times because of Venus's upcoming retrograde in Leo. And on the same day, we have Mercury in Cancer trining Saturn retrograde in Pisces at 7 degrees. So this is another day of beneficial developments and insights, realizing what you're ready to do next, how you want to do it differently, and also calling in support. It feels like the last few days of June are going to provide us with some really interesting understandings of our power, of our energy, of what we desire, of what we want, and also maybe show you how far you've come in a process, how much you have moved through, how much you have already developed. Venus in Leo trining Chiron in Aries can provide a healing insight into something that you're going to continue to work through during the upcoming Venus retrograde. Venus retrograde begins July 22nd, but is already making connections this week with other planets that will be a part of her retrograde cycle. So what that means is that whatever is coming up right now, whatever is occurring for you, especially in the Leo areas of your chart, these are energies you're going to be working through until October. And that could just be a good way to manage expectations, especially your self expectations, where if you typically move through something quickly or it has its own momentum to it, that's going to be felt differently during the Venus retrograde. So Venus makes that trine to Chiron in Aries, the first of 3 trines, and can show you more of how you're getting stronger, what you're repairing, what is being repaired, perhaps in your heart, in anything that you create, in your sense of self, in your confidence. This can be wonderful for boosting your confidence, this Venus and Leo trining Chiron in Aries. So know that you're moving through a process with Venus that's going to continue into October. And she's going to be revisiting some of these main themes during her retrograde. Now, the most influential energy we are navigating through this week is actually Neptune stationing retrograde at 27 degrees of Pisces, which occurs on June 30th. Now, this is a slow moving energy, meaning we're already in it. We're already feeling it. When the outer planets station retrograde, they make more of a ripple effect, if you will. Their energetic signature is stronger. So over this next week, as Neptune stations retrograde, the Neptune energy is amplified. It increases in its vibration and in its pulse. It's almost like it has a more impactful pulsing energy that radiates out, and we feel that and we sense that. Now, this Neptune is in new territory in Pisces. In fact, because it's at 27 degrees of Pisces, it's nearly at the very, very end of the full zodiac wheel. And so there is more significance here in what you need to release your grip on, where we are being asked to trust more, to really go into more of what is going to sustain us, what is going to be a higher path to take, where we rise up above what is occurring and unfolding in the physical world. So let me break this down a little bit more. Neptune in Pisces is about transcendence, rising above, letting go of the physical world, the mind, the ego, the body, going higher into the other realms where we would have a very different vantage point of what is occurring or what is unfolding. Neptune, especially in Pisces, is connected to the frequency of your higher self. It's where we are stepping into more of our spiritual gifts, our intuition, our psychic abilities. It's where we are learning to work with, to partner with our clairvoyance, clairsentience, claircognizance. It's where we are further integrating our spiritual power, our spiritual mastery into our human lives. And so think about what it would mean if you lived your life fully trusting your intuition without letting the ego or the mind interfere. What if you gave a lot of credibility automatically, without thinking, to what your intuition is telling you, to what you're feeling, to what you're sensing? What would that open up in you? And more importantly, how would that change how you live your life? How would that shift how you make decisions, where you tap into the feeling, you tap into a sensation? You ask your spiritual team and your guides for clarity, for a message, for some kind of information. What if that was how you regularly lived your life, and that's where you went to understand how to navigate situations, experiences, everything unfolding in your life or in the world? How would that change your experience on this planet? And that is one of the ongoing gifts of Neptune and Pisces since 2011. That's when Neptune entered Pisces, which is its home sign in astrology. So this Neptune energy is really amplified in Pisces, and it's asking us to fully own more of our intuitive abilities, more of our spiritual gifts, more of our higher self frequency, and how we allow that to be a part of our human journey. So as Neptune stations retrograde on June 30th, it will stay retrograde until December 7th. So the next half of this year is an opportunity to further work with your higher self, your intuition, everything that you're learning and further recalibrating that is designed to help you on this human journey. Meaning more ways of reflecting on how you can rely on your intuition, how you can trust it, how you can empower it. When Neptune is retrograde, every retrograde energy is an opportunity to take a step back and integrate even more what that planet and astrology sign is revealing to you, is teaching you. And this can be easier for some. This can be easier depending on your chart, of course. But this is also where we are expanding, we are growing, we are moving beyond the constructs and limitation of the 3D matrix of the physical world. We're moving beyond only what we can see or touch or feel. We continue to go higher into new realms of spiritual energies that the human body is learning to integrate, learning to work with. And as I say this, I'm getting the visual of the pineal gland. and how we haven't been taught to open it up or to work with it, how we are learning the importance of it as a powerful energy activation center, as something that is tuned into the frequency of visions, of psychic abilities, of parts of our experience that we didn't know we had access to. I'm seeing this energy can come alive because I'm seeing a spinning. It looks like this beautiful spiral energy moving around the pineal gland that is decalcifying it, cleaning it, cleansing it, purging it, perhaps releasing it of any blocks, of any limitations. I'm also seeing this energy across multiple timelines where maybe you had to shut it down. You weren't able to access the wisdom of this part of your energy for whatever reasons. This could be a time here with Neptune retrograde in Pisces where you're able to re-examine what parts of yourself have been spiritually closed. What parts of yourself have been spiritually shut down for whatever reasons, and then to understand that it's always in your power, in your energy, to open it back up, to declare, I will have this ability. I will work with this part of my energy. This will support my empowerment. So Neptune stationing retrograde on June 30th, where it will travel back to 24 degrees of Pisces and 53 minutes until December 7th. This is a time to look at where you're ready to advance in your psychic abilities, your intuitive knowingness, how you're ready to bring more of those energies into your daily life, into how you navigate the physical world so that we can actively live with these energies and from these energies. And that is humanity's ongoing development, not only through evolution, but through empowerment. Because when you are tuned in energetically, intuitively, and otherwise, things can't get past you. You can't be duped. You can't have the wool pulled over your eyes. There's things you just see, you know, you feel, and you do so before there's physical proof or evidence or documentation, whatever you want to call it, because the energetics start first and then it comes into the physical world. And so here we have an opportunity to really embrace our spiritual growth, our spiritual capabilities, to become more intuitive, to sense when this is off or something's not working or what is going on here, it doesn't feel right. All of that becomes amplified because of your willingness to trust the energy. And that is one of the gifts of not only Neptune and Pisces, but also in our spiritual advancement at this time. And I think about how this is part of the energy that's crashing down the matrix, because there's things that people can't do anymore or can't get away with. There's things that are showing up that we just sense, we challenge, we know it's off, even when there isn't that quote unquote physical proof yet. So this would be a wonderful time to reflect on your own intuitive abilities, what you want to strengthen, what you want to work on, what you want to further develop, so that perhaps by the end of this year, you're really embracing more of this intuitive power that every single human being has access to. We are designed to be spiritually aware, but that gets shut down, or it has been shut down for any number of reasons. Now we can declare to call it back, to open it up, to allow it to blossom and bloom, and to know that this is also part of our divine birthright on this planet. Now, on a more practical note, Neptune stationing retrograde can require that you need more sleep, more rest, more water, that your body needs more support, whether those are vitamins, minerals, herbs, anything that can support your daily energy would be important to pay attention to. This could also be a time when you're looking for some kind of vacation, staycation, downtime. You want to just, indulge in some form of entertainment. So that is all active as well as this Neptune stations retrograde and slows down. Then we move into July. And July 1st brings us the Sun and Mercury in Cancer, sextiling Jupiter in Taurus at 9 degrees. This is a beautiful energy. This is something that you enjoy. There's pleasure here. There's a sense of this feels good. I want more of this. There's comfort. It's cozy. There could be something that you realize at the last minute would be a great idea or a good plan. This could also be a general feeling of laziness. Not gonna lie, because you have the energy of Cancer, the energy of Taurus. They want to relax and take a break. They don't want to force anything. They just want to go with the flows of life and enjoy the pleasures of life. So July 1st starts on that note, and you might be ready for a break or to do something just for the fun of it, just for how it makes you feel. Then on July 2nd, we have the first of 3 Venus in Leo squaring Uranus in Taurus at 21 degrees. And this is a square. Again, we're going to have it 2 more times because of the upcoming Venus retrograde. And the square to Uranus and Taurus is interesting because Taurus is ruled by Venus. So when Venus is squaring Uranus and Taurus, there's something she is shifting that I feel like you already know. It's sort of like there's something you're already maybe vaguely aware of. It's off in the distance. You can sense it coming. You sense that it's there. Then the Venus in Leo brings in the fire. It's very zappy and sassy and bold. And this is the energy potentially of a declaration of something that you are changing. And it's a radical change, a radical shift. I don't want that anymore, or I only want this. There could be something that has been almost like creeping up on you. You're like, you feel a change coming, you feel a shift occurring, and then pow, here it is with Venus and Leo squaring Uranus and Taurus. And this is something that you could be complete with or done with, but it's not graceful or smooth. In fact, it's very chaotic and disruptive, and it could feel a bit messy. Almost like, oh, you stirred the pot or things got busted through. Something came up that was a jolt, a shock. And because we have this energy 2 more times over the next number of months, there's a process underway. A process is beginning around something you're changing, shifting, reevaluating. There's a change in what you want, what you desire. This can be breakups. This can be, I'm done, I'm through with this, I'm over it. This is often fast moving with Uranus. And there could be something that leaves a mess. I'm just getting the image of somebody having a tantrum and they like pick up the trash and like throw the trash. And it's like this giant mess. It's like that wasn't even necessary. And it feels like it's important to be very intentional this week because whatever happens around, let's call it the beginning of July 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th even, it's going to play out over the next few months based on how the energy is established this week. So the less messy, the less disruptive, the less chaotic it can be, the easier it will be essentially to clean up or reconfigure or work with during the Venus retrograde. But some people love a giant mess. Some people love a giant mess because they love something to clean up. It's this really weird thing where it's almost like, you know how people create drama? Because it's their frequency. Like they live in drama, they live in anger, they live in the outbursts. Like that's normal to them. That's where their nervous system regulates. They're like, if I'm not mad about something, I don't know what to do. I don't know peace. I don't know calm. I don't know how to detach or let things be. So they create a mess. And then it gives them energy to work with as that mess needs to be cleaned up or taken care of, right? So this is a week to be very intentional with how your energy is coming up, coming across, coming out, because it's going to have an ongoing ripple effect during this Venus retrograde. And so Venus applies to our sense of self-love, self-acceptance, self-value. Venus in Leo is proud and she knows what she wants. She can have a strong sense of herself. She can be tuned in to her passions, her creativity, her light, what she wants to do, what she wants to move forward. It's a very inspired and motivated Venus. But when she meets up with Uranus in Taurus, that's where she might not get what she wants. And she doesn't like it. She's not happy with it. And so that's where something can be an outburst or taken away or removed that is unexpected or shocking. This can also apply to relationships, friendships, connections with women, sisters, acquaintances, where the feminine energy could feel like it's on edge. It's on edge. Is it going to explode? Am I walking through some landmine here? Is there a landmine field that I'm unknowingly navigating? This is where things can go off. It gets set off. Because Venus in Leo, Leo's a fire sign. It's not going to do things quietly. In fact, it's probably going to be over the top and dramatic because that's what gets attention, or that's where the energy is released. That's where the energy comes out powerfully. So I feel like there's something here to be very aware of around energies with a feminine expression. Also anything with money and finances. This is where things can be unexpected. It's not a good time to make a big purchase. It's not a good time to take on anything because it could be bigger than you expect. Now it is a better time to sell, to release, to get rid of, to understand, okay, I don't want this. I don't want to pay the bill on this anymore, or I don't want this in my energy. I don't want to be responsible for this. So when Venus squares Uranus and Taurus, it's a better time to release what you've accumulated, to take stock, take inventory, and assess, do I even want this? Does this even resonate with me anymore? And because we're dealing with this energy for a total of 3 times, there is a process underway. So the Venus square Uranus energy starts, we'll call it July 1st to July 3rd, July 4th. Then again, August 9th to August 12th. And then again, the third time, September 28th to September 30th. So know that these are shocking changes, unexpected breakups, breakdowns, breakthroughs. These are in the fixed signs, which prefer and want stability, consistency, reliability. They don't want to budge, don't want to change. And this is where there could be a push comes to shove, where the universe is saying, okay, great, you can have your opinion, but this is what's happening. So there's an override that comes through with Uranus and Taurus. It overrides what you think you want or what's in your immediate awareness, because Uranus is connected to the long term, the bigger picture. It's connected to cosmic intelligence, almost like something could be happening for your best and highest good, but it doesn't feel like that in the moment, or it doesn't look like that. And then later on, so let's say later on, October, November, December, it's like, oh, yes, that makes sense. And then you could have a realization or an understanding that I'm so glad that happened. I'm so glad that left. I'm so glad that occurred. Even though it rocked me or took me off guard or I wasn't expecting it, I'm so glad because now I see the beautiful wisdom in it. This energy is going to be something you feel more personally and strongly if you have planets or points at 21 degrees of the fixed signs. And that would be 21 degrees of Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, or Aquarius. That's where this energy is happening. And also, most notably, that's where Uranus and Taurus is in new territory. So Uranus has not been in this third decan of Taurus for over 80 years. And so here we have Uranus moving into new Taurus territory, shaking up some new things that we're meant to understand and see, and then we're meant to renovate it, recreate it, work with it in a new way, as well as to set something free. And so that could be another energy signature as Venus squares Uranus 3 times is freedom. A new sense of freedom, a new release point, a new sense of, wow, I didn't realize that was so heavy or I was carrying that. all of that is part of this energy too. Then on July 3rd, we have the Capricorn Full Moon at 11 degrees. And I have a video for you on YouTube going through the chart for this Capricorn Full Moon. And it is actually a full moon that supports understanding your growth, your maturity, your responsibility. It is where we have the Capricorn energy opposing both Mercury and the Sun in Cancer. And they are showing you what needs to be shifted, elevated, or changed. Also, I'm feeling like there's a lot here around making long-term decisions based on practicality, based on where you're going, based on what matters for the future. Because with the Sun in Cancer and Mercury in Cancer, you could be attached to a particular lifestyle, energy, something that just has it's like a safety mechanism. It's interesting because I feel like this Capricorn full moon, it also relates to some of the energetics of the Cancer new moon that will be happening July 17th, when we'll have the Sun and the Moon both opposing Pluto in Capricorn for the last time. There's something about the first half, actually the first 3 weeks. The first 3 weeks of July. So basically the rest of Cancer season has really big endings and completions as the Cancer energy opposes Capricorn energies that wants you to assess and look at how far you've come. Look at how much you've grown and developed in your life since 2009. And I know that's a long period of time, right? That's 14 years here. But this Capricorn energy is about taking a good hard look at how you've created your life and also being honest with yourself about where your limitations have shown up. Where have you felt limited in taking a risk, in growing, in busting through something? Where have you shut it down? Where have you retracted or not wanted to? And maybe this isn't you. Maybe this doesn't resonate. But we're moving through the last polarity dance between Cancer and Capricorn that holds a lot of intensity to it. And you could even look back at what was a fear or what was a limitation and how you busted through it, you grew through it, you faced it, and you've risen in your power on the other side of it. I just feel like there's something quite interesting occurring between the Capricorn full moon on July 3rd and the Cancer new moon on July 17th. And it has to do with the energy of Cancer and the energy of Capricorn and how well you have honored both energies in your life, where Cancer is home base, privacy, where you go at the end of the day, where you look to retreat and give yourself a rest. Capricorn is where we show up in the world, how we show up to our job, our profession, we make moves, we boss up, we get things done, and how both energies are necessary, especially to give ourselves an opportunity to check in with what is out of balance. Capricorn is public, Cancer is private. Capricorn is ambitious. Cancer is reflective. So as we move towards this Capricorn full moon, look at what's coming up for you that might be out of balance, that might be something you are learning to honor in yourself. Sort of like we work so hard, right? We're going to get this done and get that done. And your calendar can be packed with so much to do, especially over the summer or as school gets started. And then you realize you're exhausted, or you realize you've given up what you need to take care of everyone else. And during Cancer season, we come back home to ourselves to check in on what do I need? What is nourishing? What would support me right now? And how do I reconcile both parts of my life, both parts of my energy? So the Capricorn full moon is going to give you an opportunity to check in on where you've been and where you're going. And with Capricorn, it's the goals we have in mind. It's our New Year's resolutions. Every time we have the Capricorn full moon in the middle of a calendar year, we check in on what did I start this year with? What were my resolutions? What were my intentions? What did I want to accomplish in 2023? And how is that going? How is that showing up? Is it working? Is it producing anything? Am I still wanting that? or is it time for a course correction? So allow this Capricorn full moon to give you a clear message on what is worth your energy, what is worth your time, and what is not. Capricorn is about karma and consequences as well. So there could be things that you're clearing out because you're like, yeah, I'm done with that. I'm not going to participate in that. I'm not interested in that. My energy doesn't want to go there. There could be a turnover or a changeover here of some things that were previously important to you, but now they just no longer have that energy. They no longer call to you in that way. So it's quite a week that we have here as we close out June and move into July. And I actually just thought of something that I wanted to mention. If you're looking for energetic support, if you need help sleeping, if you need help with anything in your mental body, your emotional body, your physical body, also anything that would support your light body and your ascension journey. I know I've recommended them before, but the company called Jampha, JAMPHA.com offers various things that support our energy systems. It can help you with sleep. It can help you understand how to calm the mind or calm the emotional body. And they have kindly offered a discount for us with coupon code Astrology that will help with understanding what you could need. They're very friendly and available. So if you need assistance or guidance, please reach out. Please reach out to them. But I wanted to offer this because it has a beautiful synergy with this Neptune stationing retrograde where you could notice where you feel depleted, where you need more support, or where you need something that is better for your energy, that can give you that rest, can give your mind a break, can support your emotions, whatever it might be. They have herbal infusions and Tibetan pills and topicals and tinctures and all kinds of cool stuff. So I just share this because I really like what they're doing. I do not benefit from sharing this with you, but I think that they are on the cutting edge of some beautiful products that are really beneficial for light workers and starseeds, because as we move into new energy, we need new sources of support. So just wanted to throw that out there in case you're looking for something that could help with anything that you're healing, with anything that you're moving through, and also to know that these energies are available to us. So you can check them out at jampha.com. That's Jampha. They do ship worldwide. And again, when you use the code Astrology, you get a 30% discount on their offerings. And because we are halfway through the year, please be sure to sign in to the 2023 Soul Growth Astrology program if you want to check in on the energies of this year and how they're showing up in your chart. And it's 50% off right now. It's 50% off with coupon code 2023. So you can also get caught up on the energies of this year. And you can look back on hindsight at what has been occurring for you since Saturn entered Pisces on March 7th. What came up for you when Pluto moved into Aquarius starting on March 23rd? What did the eclipses trigger in you? So this is a great program to reflect on what has been coming through for you, as well as to learn more about your astrology chart in the current transits. So 50% off with coupon code 2023, because I really hope it supports this year for you and what is coming up for you in your life. Thank you for joining me. As always, you can find all of my current programs, courses, and offerings at mollymccord.online. And I also have a ton of free videos for you on YouTube. Be sure and look at my YouTube playlists where you will find a lot that helps you understand more about your chart, more about astrology, and more about the energetics of this year. I'll be back every Monday and Wednesday for another podcast episode. I look forward to connecting with you as we move through the energies of this year together. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm always grateful for your time, energy, and presence, and I'm wishing you a beautiful Capricorn full moon in the week to come. Take good care, and I'll see you back here soon.